Well, with all the rain coming, it's all hands on deck for first responders in the path of the storm. Let's bring in CNN National Security Analyst Juliette Kayyem, a former Assistant Secretary for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Good to have you with us. We know that Texas and Louisiana were declared under a state of emergency before this hurricane even hit. Just explain what would be happening right now as first responders move through.
Well, it happened a couple days ago when the hurricane really did form so quickly. And basically what that would mean is that the federal government, through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, would deploy all sorts of resources to prepare for when they can start to help people recovered. But as you heard from your correspondents, one of the challenges of a storm like this, even though the category level has gone down, it's very difficult to deploy people to determine what kind of damage is done, get water, get food, until we can ensure that we protect the first responders. So I've been saying that this hurricane is frustrating because everyone's expecting, a big category 4 or 5. It then denigrates to a 1. That does not mean that we won't see significant damage. Hurricane Katrina was a category 1 by the time it hit landfall as well.
Right. And so over the next few days, we are expecting major flooding in that region. How difficult is it going to be to get in supplies? Just to explain how supplies could be delivered.
So it's going to be a bit of triage right now. The most important thing for any emergency manager is to ensure those who are most vulnerable get what they need. And that means people who are stuck in homes, in damaged homes, may need medical services, those with disabilities, young people in communities that may not have resources. So they're going to be making choices because you have simply a limited capacity at this stage, and we'll be deploying those resources. The good news that we're seeing right now is it looks like a lot of people did leave, which is fantastic because it just means there's fewer people to help. Human life is much more important than your house or property. And so then those kinds of restoration efforts will occur over the weeks. The declarations that you just described by the federal government assist in deploying resources and, of course, money to help these communities. So just think of it, it starts locally, then goes to the state of Texas, and then the federal government. With a storm like this, everyone was leaning in, and it really is just a capacity issue at this stage, just given how long the storm is lasting.
And Juliet, for people that decided to ignore the evacuation orders and stay behind, police reportedly were telling them to write their social security number on their arms so that if need be, they could identify bodies. How unusual is it to hear that?
Well, a part of it is a fear factor. A part of it is to scare people into leaving. Look, there's always going to be holdouts. There's some, don't ask me why, I don't get it, but there are holdouts. I understand they want to, check out their property. And so one way to sort of scare them into evacuating is to tell them what the consequences are. And the consequences are real, that if something were to happen to them, even a heart attack, or they hurt themselves, that you could not get emergency management help. I will say, I say, I've been in this field a long time. I say to people, you don't want your last words to be, I'm such an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, if someone says to evacuate, evacuate. I think, knock on wood, we're not hearing of a lot of fatalities, if any, right now. I think part of that is because, given the nature of the storm, a lot of people did heed that advice. When authorities say leave, leave.
Exactly. Some good analysis from you, Juliette Kayyem. Always good to have you on.
Don't be an idiot. That's all I say.
Don't be an idiot. Wise words. Thank you very much. Well, next on CNN Newsroom, a dangerous hurricane isn't the only storm the Trump administration is weathering. The series of controversial decisions announced just as Harvey was about to make landfall. We'll have a live report on that next. And Fight Night is finally here, the big boxing matchup between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. We'll hear from the Ultimate Fighting Championship president on one of the most anticipated and richest boxing matches ever.